Good evening and welcome to this Tuesday night edition of 4FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Shane Pendleton.
And I'm student meteorologist Donovan Wiseman. Shane, we had an absolutely beautiful afternoon here in Tallahassee today, didn't we?
That's right. We topped out in the mid-60s this afternoon, and that was a rebound from a very chilly start this morning.
It was a very chilly start. I know you were telling me a while ago that you had to get out and defrost your car this morning, get that ice off of there.
Yeah, it took about 10 minutes running the defroster in the car. And then this afternoon, I was able to walk around on Landis Green without a jacket. So it goes to show what a topsy-turvy temperature condition we have in the winters here in Tallahassee.
Exactly. It's very bipolar here in the wintertime. I usually wear something that's easy to remove and will fit in my backpack whenever I get an early start for my day. A 9:45 a.m. class is still pretty cold. But
Yes.
then by 3:35, you don't want to be wearing that jacket around campus.
Exactly, yeah, I usually tuck it over my backpack or something like that, and that's exactly the best way to handle the weather this time of year in Tallahassee. Dress in layers, t-shirt, polo, and then your jacket and scarf and what have you for those 8 a.m.s for me this morning. It was a bitter start in the mid-30s.
It's been cold up in the Northeast, and we're going to talk about that more here later in the show. But let's stay here in Tallahassee. We're expecting a possible cool down this week, isn't that right?
Yes, temperatures won't get even quite as warm as they did today, but we're going to see sunny skies prevail. And to give us an overview of the show, here's Melanie.
Thank you, Shane. Yeah, you guys briefly touched on what's going on in the Northeast. They're just seeing all the snow. They're actually having a severe blizzard going on right now, but thankfully for our area, it's staying relatively clear and sunny. We're sitting at 64 right now, and we're sitting in relatively dry conditions. It's 33 for the dew point, and it is perfectly sunny out, so it's a beautiful day. It feels warmer than 64, however, due to that sunshine. So if you are going out, you may want to shed that jacket. Tonight, though, we're going to be sitting at 35. There is going to be some frost between the hours of 1 a.m. and 8 a.m. So if you have 8 a.m. classes like me, you may have to get to your car a little bit earlier, set on those heaters so that they can defrost the ice off your windshields. But taking a look at our weather headlines, we're going to be seeing seasonal conditions for the next few days. There's going to be a slight warm up, and then the rain is going to return early next week. So there is going to be some rain chances Sunday and Monday, but we'll tell you more about that later on in the show.
Thanks, Melanie. Well, the opposite sort of weather to what we're experiencing right now is what the Northeast is experiencing. This is a story everyone's been talking about.
It is. I was on my Weather Channel app today, and I was looking at pictures of cars just completely covered in snow up in the New England area.
Yes, this is a massive winter storm that has been declared a historic blizzard event for the Northeast, and it has been quite a doozy for them. A lot of snowfall drifting from New York City up to through the Boston area.
That's right, a lot of snowfall. And then when they're on the areas in Massachusetts on the coast, I was reading about damage that the blizzard has caused with the ocean as well. So it's a really bad time to be up in the Northeast right now.
Yes, indeed. Touching on what you just said, the National Weather Service issued, in addition to the typical winter weather advisories, which I'll be touching on all of them in great detail later in the show, a rather rare advisory. This is called Coastal Flood Advisory, and that deals with the combination of strong winds forcing water onto the shore, in addition to snowfall and ice melt and runoff and all of that good stuff that's just causing a dangerous scenario along the coast, especially in New England.
Yes, we'll definitely get to that winter weather, but let's keep it here in Tallahassee. Let's send it back out to Melanie. Melanie, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Donovan. Thankfully, we're not seeing any of those snow-like conditions, because personally, I wouldn't enjoy that very much. Right now, though, we're seeing the sun. It is nice and clear, 61 in Tallahassee. It's going to feel a little bit warmer due to that sun cover, but taking a look at the much wider region, it's the same all around. 60 in Monticello, a little bit warmer towards the coast. So our temperatures are really starting to decrease as we get into those overnight hours. Our winds are coming out of the northwest, so that's also bringing with it a slight chill. But taking a look at our satellite and radar, just see no clouds in our area. The clouds are going to be returning, though, as we move into our overnight hours, and that is going to be keeping our temperatures relatively warmer than usual. This low pressure system over to the northeast is just going to be funneling in those clouds later at night. Right now, just Georgia, northern Georgia, the Atlanta area is seeing those clouds, but our area is staying relatively clear. There is this weak cold front above us, though, and that's going to be dipping into our area tomorrow morning, and that's going to be causing some frost between 1 and 8 a.m. So if you have ice on your car, just make sure to get out early to defrost it. Then that cold front is just going to dip down below us, and that's going to be leaving us with sunny conditions for your Wednesday morning and just Wednesday in general. As we move into Thursday morning, though, it's going to be another chilling morning. Those high clouds are going to be returning into our area. It's going to be some patchy sun, but we're still going to be seeing those cool conditions. Tonight, though, we're going to be dropping to 35. The clouds are going to be in our area, so that's going to be keeping us a little bit warmer than it should due to radiational cooling. There's going to be the frost again after 1 a.m., so be careful with that. Tomorrow is going to be another seasonable day, 59 degrees, sunny and clear. It's going to be cool, beautiful, so get out and enjoy those temperatures. Planning your day, though, it's going to be a chilly start. We're going to be seeing 40 degrees at 8 a.m. and by 12, the winds are going to start to pick up a little and our temperatures are going to rise to 51. And for your commute home, it's going to be sitting at 58 with a few passing clouds. So our temperatures are going to be on the rise throughout the day. So through most of the week, we have these seasonable conditions. Tomorrow we're going to be in the 50s, but then Friday, Saturday, and for the rest of our week, we're going to be sitting in the 60s. Sunday, though, there is that chance for rain at 40% and 30% on Monday, and our temperatures are going to be back into the 70s. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of unseasonable throughout the next week, but for the rest of the week, we're going to be seeing very seasonable temperatures. Thursday morning, the low could even be near freezing. So if you are driving out in the early AM hours, just be careful for that. But now we're going to take it to Donovan.
All right, Melanie, thanks for taking us around Tallahassee. Let's zoom out a little bit and talk about the southeast in a bigger picture. Not a lot going on in our area like we were talking about in the northeast, but we do see some cloud covers, Melanie said, over the North Georgia area, just north of Atlanta, up in areas like Ellijay, Hiawassee, like that, but relatively calm all across the southeast. Now, this is our water vapor. You see a lot of orange hanging over Florida, and that's just talking about dry air here for the next couple of days. And we're going to see some rain, possibly like Melanie said, this weekend. But for now, just dry air hanging out over here. That green up towards where some winter weather is happening. A lot of ugly stuff up that way. Now, currently across the southeast, we're sitting pretty down here in the deep south. It's beautiful outside, 61 in Tallahassee. And then in New Orleans, we're at 71. And then across Florida, staying in the 60s, a little cooler than some areas, but still really beautiful outside. It's a great time to be outside today before that cold front moves in. Now, here's our current dew points here in Tallahassee, 32, 46 in Orlando, and that's just an indication of how humid it is outside. Right now, nothing too bad, and we're going to stay pretty dry for the next couple of weeks, or excuse me, next couple of days. Now, at Futurecast, here's the cold front that's moving in. Here by Tuesday evening, it's sitting around Georgia. And that's just going to be bringing in some cool air. That frost is tonight around 1 a.m., so that's going to be affecting your cars, and that'll move its way down into South Florida by Wednesday evening. Shouldn't get too cold here in Tallahassee tomorrow. It'll be pretty average, pretty seasonal day. And it's just as that moves out, yeah, chilly morning on Thursday, but nothing too bad, nothing to worry about here as far as our winter weather goes. Now for tonight here in Tallahassee, 35 degrees. Be sure if you're studying, I know first exams are coming up this week. If you're studying at Strozier, be sure to wear that coat, but deeper down into Florida, staying pretty warm, cooler as we go north. And then for tomorrow, 58 here in Tallahassee, should be a pretty nice day, 63 Orlando, 70 down there in Miami. I'd like to be down there for that. But further north, we're in the 50s up around Georgia, and even in North Carolina, upper 40s. Staying really warm out here in the west after that cold front makes its way through this way. 70 degrees reported out in Shreveport, Louisiana, 60 in Little Rock. Really nice out there. Satellite and radar, we've been talking about the northeast at our desk segments, and you just see all this activity up there. We're going to talk even more about that before we end the show tonight. A lot of things going on up there, a lot of ugly stuff. And Shane, I believe we got something about that right now, isn't that right? We got some numbers to talk about as far as snowfall accumulation, things like that.
We do indeed. We're student meteorologists here at FSU Weather, proud of it, and we want to give you a meteorological overview of this winter storm that's been making headlines. The information we're bringing you comes from the Weather Prediction Center in College Park, Maryland.
Yeah, we got some numbers to talk about, some snowfall accumulation. I wonder if Maryland's seeing anything right now up that way.
No, fortunately, the capital region is pretty safe. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, the surface low, the low pressure center that's been the cause of all this havoc, was located about 60 miles east of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and was moving slowly northward.
Man, well, hopefully they get some relief soon. Hopefully they don't get hit too bad for any more extended time.
Yeah, for the duration of this event, the main effects will be heavy snow, dangerous blizzard conditions with the wind, with gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and as we were saying earlier, coastal flooding. And now I'm going to give us a closer look at that in the national segment. Here's a look at the temperatures nationwide right now, and it's surprisingly warm in the middle of the country considering the severe winter weather that we've been talking about around the country. Check out these temperatures in the Great Plains right now. It's 76 in Dallas, 79 in San Antonio. Can you believe it? They're nearly topping out at 80 degrees, whereas Boston's ringing in at less than 20 degrees, 19 right now in the capital of Massachusetts. And let's focus in on the story that everyone wants to hear more about. Here's some wind chills right now. 2 degrees in Boston. Yes, that's Fahrenheit. That is nearly sub-zero temperatures, which we thought we'd seen the last of a few weeks ago when we were shivering down here in Tallahassee. Across the rest of the country, though, not too many wind chills to speak of. 24 degrees in Washington, D.C. And now, looking at the national satellite, we're about to focus in on this low pressure center spinning. We can see a bit of a spiral shape to these snow bands. That's the low pressure center making its presence known there off the coast of Cape Cod. And now, before we get to the northeast, let's look at where there's a little bit of winter weather action happening, but much less. Here south of Carson City, we're looking at some bands of snow just north of Mammoth Lakes as well in the Sierra Nevadas. They're on the mountaintops right now. And here we go, the moment we've all been waiting for. Here's the snowmaker that's really coming down on Boston right now. Check out these bands of snow. They're particularly dark here over Boston. That's where they've been getting drifts of up to 8 feet of snow, locally reported 3 feet of snow consistently on the ground. And this extends across the board throughout all of Massachusetts into Connecticut and Rhode Island. And it extended as far west as New York City, which got its fair share of the white stuff yesterday. But it is slowly making its way westward and getting out of our hair. We're going to take a closer look now at some of the advisories right now. There's a lot of color on this map. It's almost decorated out for Valentine's Day, but that's not what these colors indicate. The orange along the coast here, this is a blizzard warning. The pink is a winter storm warning, and the purple out here, that's a winter weather advisory. I'll be getting into the qualifications for each of those in just a few minutes. The rest of the country, though, is mostly clear right now. So let's take a quick look at the snowfall that we can expect to see across the country. Not much, of course, with the Great Plains being so warm, and here in Florida, we're not shy of the white stuff, but we don't see it that often. There in Boston, though, they are the snow center of the country right now. And as time goes on, they will continue to accumulate a little bit more, with another wave of snow coming in to follow this one. Let's take a quick look at the temperatures that we're going to see over the rest of the evening as temperatures dip down into the teens in the big cities and then warm up again as we move into the days to follow. Now I'm going to hand it off to Donovan to talk about local weather.
All right, Shane, thanks so much. Yeah, let's step away from some of that winter weather, talk about what's going on here in the capital city, Florida. This is tomorrow nationally, but we're going to take it into our region. Currently right now in Tallahassee, around 61 degrees, staying in the lower 60s, upper 50s across the region. Taking a look to our east over in Perry, they're around 60 degrees. Down there on the coast, they're seeing 63 degrees as well. Pretty much the same story across the board. Pretty day outside today. Now, current winds, I want you to notice the direction of this. All these arrows pointing this way is that indication of a cold front approaching. And you see that wind is starting to pick up in some areas. 8 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, and then in Marietta, they're around 10 miles per hour. Even in Bainbridge, the same thing. So that's why you're seeing that wind pick up a little bit and the direction that it is moving. Now, our water vapor, again, let's talk about that dry air that's hovering over the state right now. Pretty nice for the southeast, with that moisture being concentrated mostly in the northeast. We should see some pretty dry days for the next couple of days. This weekend could be a different story. And our satellite and radar is just showing that again, all that weather headed up towards the northeast, while down here we're staying pretty nice. A few clouds across the Carolinas and into Georgia. Down in Florida, it's been a really nice day. Probably be a nice day tomorrow as well. Now here's that cold front moving in. It's going to bring some cold air into the area by 1 a.m. tonight. Again, by 1 a.m., be ready for it. It's coming. Be around 35 degrees later tonight. and it'll bring that frost in with it. But as the day goes on through Wednesday, we're going to see temperatures start to rise. A lot of sunshine, not expecting a lot of cloud cover either, and it should be a dry day. It's going to pick back up into a seasonal nice day here for Tallahassee. Cold air is going to move out, nothing to worry about. It is going to be a chilly morning again Sunday, but then again, we should see more sunshine for Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, and taking that into the weekend will be very nice. Now, on the sand for tomorrow, that wind is going to be picking up. That's with that, or excuse me, yes, tomorrow. That wind's picking up as the cold front moves through, 10 to 15 knots. That surface around 1 to 3 feet. UV index is dropping a little bit, so probably not as much need for sunscreen tomorrow, but you might want to wear something to cover your face, things like that. Now, for tonight, we're sitting around 35 here in Tallahassee, very cold, approaching freezing temperatures. Quincy around 34, and even up into Bainbridge, 33 degrees. And then for tomorrow, 59 here in Tallahassee, 60 in St. Mark's, pretty much the same story across the region. A seasonal day, should be pretty nice after that cold front moves through. And then taking a look at our 7-day, again, for tomorrow, upper 50s, mid 60s for the next couple of days. And then Shane, by Sunday, we're going to be seeing those 70-degree temperatures again. Taking that into the first of next week should be really nice.
Yes, that does sound very beautiful. And now it's time for our favorite segment at FSU Weather. That's Today in Weather History, and it fits with the theme of the blizzard in the Northeast.
Oh, Shane, tell us more about this. I always enjoy the weather history segments.
Well, let's start over 200 years ago in 1772 with what is known as the Washington and Jefferson snowstorm. And yes, that's named for exactly who you think it is, our founding fathers. George Washington reported 3 feet of snow at his estate at Mount Vernon, and Thomas Jefferson reported also about 3 feet at Monticello.
Man, they were just, it seemed like they did everything back then. They probably were meteorology guys as well, keeping records like that.
Definitely very brilliant guys. And then bringing it a little more modern, we had a snowstorm in 1966 that dumped 13 inches of snow in Oswego, New York.
That's right.
And now I'm going to now it's time for you to give us a look around the Sunshine State.
Yeah, let's go around Florida so we can bring it on out to the graphics again. We've been talking about really nice weather down this way with that really bad stuff staying up towards the northeast. If you take a look here in Florida, currently in Tallahassee, we're sitting around 61 degrees. Jacksonville's already cooling down as the sun has set. 55 up there, 64 Orlando. Again, a lot of pretty weather associated with this too. Sunshine today, expect more sunshine tomorrow. Now our satellite and radar is just showing what we saw all through the day. Not a lot of cloud coverage here in Tallahassee. It's been really nice. Been nice to be outside after, about 10 a.m. once it started to warm back up. It was really nice outside. That cloud cover again is staying up with the more, negative weather up that way. We're glad that's pretty far away from us. Now our water vapor, a lot of dry air over Florida. We're expecting it to stay like this. That cold front that's moving in shouldn't bring any rain, things like that. Not enough moisture in the atmosphere, and that's what this is showing right here. That's staying way above us. That's always good news in my opinion. I can't stand rain, anything like that. And then zooming in closer to Tallahassee, this is probably due to a disturbance on our satellite out to our west. Relatively clear all across the south here in South Georgia, Alabama, and even towards Mississippi, and of course in our area. And we're taking it out towards Jacksonville, again, just going around Florida. Really nice out. If we take it down to the south, no rain down in Miami, Key West. Sort of surprising. We're usually reporting several inches of rainfall at different times. And this is just across the southeast again. Not a lot going on outside, staying away from us. Futurecast showing that cold front moving in again. Cold air, we told you enough times, so you got to be ready for it. That frost is moving in about 1 a.m. and then as the cold front moves out, sun's coming out. Sun's out, maybe guns out tomorrow. Might see some upper 50s into the 60s. That's going to keep moving out, and then another chilly morning for Thursday. But again, that sun's going to be here. It's going to warm us back up, and we should expect some really nice weather for the next couple of days. Now, planning your day for tomorrow morning, it's probably going to be around 40 degrees. You're going to want something that you can shed for the afternoon because around 12 o'clock, it's going to pick back up a little bit. It will be windy outside, but we'll see temperatures around 51 degrees, and then a few passing clouds later in the evening around 58 degrees. Now for tonight here across the Sunshine State, 40 in Pensacola, 35 Tallahassee, 35 Jacksonville, then staying in the upper 40s down into the 50s for South Florida. A really nice night here across the Sunshine State. Upper 50s across the board here in North Florida, and then getting into the 60s and 70s for tomorrow is going to be really nice. Now, Shane, we've been talking about that winter weather. Tell us about it.
Well, what we've got now for you, Donovan, are a few pictures of the winter weather that we had sent in from friends of FSU Weather. This is from my friend Chris Wildermuth, who's currently in Boston, Massachusetts, and he's who reported up to 3 inches of snow consistently on the ground, drifting along the side of the roads, especially where they finally got to plow the streets. Check out these drifts here. It looks like that would be fun to fall into, which I understand Chris attempted earlier today just for fun. And then these pictures come from Plymouth, Massachusetts, from my Aunt Gail. These indicate beautiful shots of the woods behind her house and the snow so dense it even piled up on the lines of her clothesline out there. And here's a really awesome vista shot of the hills covered in snow out there. Several feet of snow reported in the area, up into the 20s and 30 inches. And now we're going to get to some of the cold hard facts about this as well. We've got a few airport delays to talk about. Worcester experiencing ground delays right now, as well as Bangor up there in Maine. For the most part, though, the rest of these airports in the Northeast are able to report clear conditions. They're not having to deal with any more of the white stuff. And as promised, here's an analysis of the watches and warnings. We've got blizzard warnings along the coast, winter storm warnings further inland, and winter weather advisories on the fringes of this system. Basically, from purple up to orange, they increase in severity. They're a combination of snowfall and blowing winds that basically make travel hazardous. Let's not forget about ice building up on the roads as well. And this map indicates current snow cover, 19 inches there in Boston, up to 24 inches in Worcester in rural Massachusetts. These are very significant snowfall totals, resulting, of course, from these bands of snow that have been building across the New England region recently. But this whole system is ultimately shifting off to the west. And as the day commences, those warnings will expire in about 2 hours at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now let's take a look at what we've got going on right now across the country. It's currently 32 degrees in Minneapolis, 25 in Detroit, 34 in Washington, D.C., and up there in Boston, it's 19 degrees, a good 13 degrees below freezing, and they are, of course, experiencing precipitation. But on a broader scale of the country, let's look to where we've got a very different climate right now. Sunny and 54 there in Kansas City, 76 degrees in Dallas, 66 degrees in Denver. This is under what we call a ridge that's built across the center of the country, and high pressure is currently dominating that region, and that's trapping the warmer air inside it, while this trough across the eastern part of the country, notice how it swoops down over the eastern seaboard. That's responsible for trapping all the cold air in that part of the country. And now as we turn back to the desk, we want to offer everyone a few notices about winter weather safety for this time of year, especially if you're dealing with travel in the blizzard conditions.
Absolutely right. We reported last week about some bad accidents up in the Northeast caused because people just didn't know that the bad weather was coming. It's important to stay tuned. Now, Shane, what's some tips for people during this time of year?
Well, for the most part right now, the National Weather Service is encouraging everyone, especially in the orange-bounded regions on our warnings map, to stay indoors. They are discouraging any and all forms of unnecessary travel because the combination of heavy snow and blowing winds, and these aren't light breezes, we're talking 20, 30 miles per hour sustained winds.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd even want to be outside during that time. I think most people are going to want to stay in, and they'll definitely be safe for doing so.
Yes, the main bottom line here is don't go out driving. If the kids want to go out and play in the snow, that's A-okay. Then no one's going anywhere, so we can assure that everyone they'll have time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's get away from the snow now, and let's send it out to Melanie to talk about the local one more time.
Yeah, it seems like this whole show, all we've been talking about is the snow and the winter weather, but now taking it more back home, we don't really have very much winter weather. We're seeing 61, clear skies. The air is very dry right now, and that is thanks to that dry air, and we're not seeing much moisture along with it. Satellite and radar, we're seeing no clouds in our area, just perfect conditions. The clouds may start to roll around later tonight, but right now that's keeping our temperatures relatively warm, on the warmer side for this time. 61 in Tallahassee, 66 in St. Mark's, 59 in Quincy. So everyone's seeing the same thing. We're seeing the high 50s, low 60s, and that's going to be continuing to decrease as the night progresses on. Dew points, though, 32 in Tallahassee, 34 in St. Mark's. All around our region, we are just seeing all that dry air, and that can be shown on the water vapor map. All this brown color is the dry air, and all over to the northeast, all the green is the moist air. So they are seeing that moist air in the northeast. Thankfully, though, that moist air is avoiding our area. It's not feeling as muggy as it normally would. Right now, though, tonight there is a cold front that is going to be passing through our area. It's a very dry cold front, though. There's not going to be much moisture associated with it. There is the chance for frost, though, between 1 and 8 a.m. So if you are driving to campus tomorrow for 8 a.m. classes, make sure to check that ice on your car. But tomorrow we're going to be seeing another sunny day, just like today. Beautiful temperatures, beautiful conditions. Thursday morning, it's going to be another chilly morning. Could be reaching near freezing temperatures. And as we continue to Thursday night, 6 p.m., the clouds are going to start to make their way back again. But looking at tonight, we're sitting at 35 in Tallahassee, 34 in Quincy, a little bit warmer towards the coast. There's going to be some calm winds, so it's not really going to be impacting our temperature as much. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be another one of those beautiful days we all enjoy. 59 in Tallahassee, 60 in St. Mark's, 57 in Monticello. So those clear conditions are going to be sticking around for the next few days. But as we reach into our weekend, there is a chance for rain. Sunday and Monday, there is that 40 and 30% chance of rain due to another disturbance. Friday, there is a small chance, 10%. That's going to be mostly to our eastern counties, though, in the Swanee River Valley. Again, Thursday morning, near freezing temperatures, 34 degrees. Very seasonable temperatures. We are sitting at the 60s for most of the week, but Sunday and Monday, we are going to be back into those 70-degree temperatures. Our highs are also going to be on the rise, 49 Sunday morning and 54 for Monday morning. The clouds are going to be returning with those warmer temperatures. I'm not very excited about those warmer temperatures. I like where we're sitting now. It's very seasonable, but as we move into the weekend, it's not going to be as seasonable. What do you guys think?
Personally, Melanie, I like to see those temperatures going up, especially with what we've got going on here tomorrow on campus. A lot of opportunities for students to better themselves as students. We have a Garnet and Gold Scholar Society info meeting. That'll be at the Career Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a great society to be a part of. It looks really good on your degree after you graduate as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of academic prestige there. For events going on around campus, we've also got men's basketball tomorrow evening against Wake Forest at 7 p.m. That'll be very exciting.
That's right, and we should see some pretty nice weather for that as you're getting out and traveling to the Tucker Center. Also on campus tomorrow, a really good tool for students to take advantage of. Looking for graduate school, there is an info session or workshop at the ACE Center, and that will be at 4:30 p.m. That's to give you some tips on standardized tests, and that'll be really nice on Landis tomorrow as you're going that way. Looking right there, Shane, around that time, probably see about 59 degrees.
Yep, 59 degrees for an afternoon high tomorrow. That'll maybe require a light jacket for some of us who've gotten too used to the warm temperatures in Florida. But the good news is we'll be warming up again to the mid-60s on Friday afternoon when maybe a few clouds start building in. We're cooling back down to freezing temperatures in the evening and early morning hours.
Yeah, I'll take those high temperatures though. But hey, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also on Instagram. We're there right now. Send us your weather pictures and watch us anytime on live stream as well.
Yep, as of this weekend, we're back up live streaming every evening, and we appreciate everyone's support here every night on 4FSU Weather.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday evening. I'm student meteorologist Shane Pendleton.
And I'm student meteorologist Donovan Wiseman. Have a great night, everyone.